If you find working with large clients overwhelming in your balloon business, today's episode is for you. My name is Sarah Meyer. I'm the host of the Bright Balloon podcast, where I help you make more money and eliminate stress in your balloon business. And today I am chatting with Sean Edwards, who's the owner of The Balloon Guy in LA, and he works with large, high end customers. And he's breaking down what they want, how you can best serve them, and what you do when things inevitably go wrong. So let's jump into this week's episode so you can figure out how to work with those large, fancy, high end corporate clients. Welcome to this episode, Sean. I'm so excited to talk with you. We are talking about your life of luxury, decorating for celebrities. No, I'm kidding. We are going to touch on celebrities. You are in LA, so that looks a little different than being in the middle of nowhere, Wisconsin. So I'm excited to hear about your balloon adventures. But before we jump in, give us an introduction. Tell us about your business and how you got to where you are today.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, first of all, I told you earlier, but I'm like so excited to be here. I'm like so nervous. I've done like a bunch of podcasts, but like I'm the most nervous for this one because it's my favorite, and you're my favorite.
Well,
And
thank you, but don't be nervous.
I like listen to this podcast like every week. I love it, and I love all the guests you have on it. I'm like such a super fan. Gosh. Okay. So hi, I'm Sean Edwards. I own the Balloon Guy in Los Angeles. And I started like probably like a lot of people, I started as a balloon twister when I was a kid. I got like a little kit. I was an only child, and my parents got me like one of those horrible little kits. And I like got super into it. And I got like better and better books as I like went along. But yeah, I started as an entertainer. And then from there in LA, I like branched out to decor, but like very slowly, very slowly. I'd say I started doing balloon decorations about 10 years ago, but it was a very slow progression. And I didn't do the whole class route. There wasn't like when I was growing up, there wasn't YouTube or anything like that. So you learned from like, I remember there was one, I grew up in Virginia and North Carolina.
Okay.
And there was like one magic shop, I forget what it was called. But anyway, I think it was in Greensboro, North Carolina. Maybe it's still there. But anyway, there was this one clown. She was a clown and her name was Brenda. And she used to
Okay.
smoke like a chimney. Mhm. And I used to go there and I would like beg her to show me how to make like balloon things. And she would be like, well, if you want to learn, you got to buy. And then she would like smoke and I'd be like, tell me how to make a balloon dog. And she'd be like, all right, come here. And like, it was just so not what you imagine a balloon artist to be, but those were my roots. So I've had like the small town experience, like a lot of people do, where it's like, you go up, you meet somebody, you see them doing it, and you like try and learn from them. And then, I've had the big city experience where it's like here you can pop into a class every week or every day of the week.
Yeah. Well, how long now you don't do you twist anymore? I guess I don't actually know.
So it's funny. I don't do that much twisting anymore, but the last 2 weeks I've done like 3 or 4 parties because I had a guy sick. So I got to do some. Yeah. I just worked for, I'm going to name drop, but I worked for somebody I think is cool. I don't know how to say their name, but I think it's Emma Greed. Anyway, she does things and like, she's an entrepreneur and she works with like the Kardashians. Anyway, really cool, like role model-y type person, but super fun party. And then what did I do this weekend? Oh, I just did a really cute little party for like 15 kids in Brentwood,
Okay.
which is West Los Angeles. Like,
Super fancy, right?
yeah, a little fancy.
A
Yeah.
little fancy. Brentwood. I love it. And you primarily do decor now, is that correct?
Now I mostly do, yeah, decor is like where we make most of our money. And we have face painters and balloon twisters and entertainers too. But yeah, we're known kind of for like custom decor. Like we do a lot of like brand activations, like influencer events, like movie premieres and like that kind of stuff. We work with a lot of like experiential agencies and
Okay.
I don't know, I've gotten to do like a lot of fun stuff. It's always like something different.
Yeah. Well, that's like I mean, I'm interested to talk to you about this because it's like the total opposite of me. I'm like columns, arches, garlands. Like, they can be kind of like quote unquote customized, but like they're not. They're all the same. It's like you choose your colors. And on the rare occasion, I have the event planner that wants the super custom thing. But that sounds like mostly what you're doing, which I find incredibly stressful. So, like behind the scenes in your actual business, what does that look like? Are you doing site visits? Are you doing mock ups? Are you sending like mood boards? Like, how do you get to the point where you're kind of all on the same page?
Sure. So it kind of depends on the budget. Sometimes I can just take a look at a photo, and if they want like a simple setup in like one area, I'll just look at a photo, ask them for measurements. But if they have like a huge budget, I will definitely go and visit because I don't want to mess something up.
Yeah.
And, like for instance, we just did a job at the Hollywood Palladium, which is like a venue here, and it was for this show on Amazon, but they just wanted one arch
Mm,
and they wanted a really fancy arch, but it was just one yellow arch, but super like intricate and like they wanted like two arches in one. They really wanted a tunnel, but they didn't want to pay for it, so they got an arch. So that was just pictures. But then but a lot of times I will go and visit and just see the site because it's a lot of I s- I started working out of very humbly, out of my car. I didn't have space is so limited and expensive in LA.
yeah.
For the longest time, like, I just worked out of my apartment and a car and me and, like, a helper for the day, and we didn't do anything ahead of time. We, like, showed up, we blew everything up on site. It was super stressful,
Yeah.
but, like, I really like to look at the environment that I'm working with and, like, let it inform what I'm gonna do. So,
Hmm.
like, I feel like structures and things that we make, I really try and fit them to where we're gonna work. So, I
Okay.
guess I guess that's why for me, custom stuff, kind of just works. I feel like I do a ton of bubble installs. I think I did
Okay.
one like a couple years ago. And like now everybody's like, what do you do bubbles for me? And like, so I just do tons of bubbles everywhere for brands. It's like shampoo companies and like,
Yeah. Oh, cool.
so yeah.
You found your niche. You're the bubble guy.
I'm the bubble guy, the balloon guy, the bubble guy. Yeah.
Well, that's neat. I mean, I feel like sometimes if you do get those high end clients, because I've had a few, like I've done like athletes or like a brand that I know the name and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a fancy thing. Do you have tips in working with these coordinators? Because before we started recording, you said even when you're working for like a celebrity, you're never going to meet the celebrity. Like you're working with like their people, or an event planner who does high end work is still just like a regular person. Do you find that it's a different vibe, or do you think you just treat everyone like people and it works out?
So I guess like what I've always tried to focus on is like I'm a bit of a people pleaser. So like I have just like I talked about like three pillars in our business, which is like I feel like the artistry that we create. I want to be number one. The customer service is like really, really important to me. I try and really focus on having amazing customer service. Like in the past like year, we're really trying to grow our business right now. So like I make sure like someone's always answering the phone, 9 to 5, 9 to 6 right now. You can always get to somebody right away.
Yeah.
And people really like that. They really respond to that. And I know personally, like if I have a problem with something I ordered online or a local business, like if I want like flowers or something like that, it really makes a big difference if you have good customer service because I don't think people expect that from most balloon decor companies
Mm,
and or especially balloon artists. So to me, that's really important. And I will say in a city like Los Angeles, that's what people expect.
okay.
And like to me, that's how you work with the big brands and you work with celebrities and that's how you can charge top dollar is by like ensuring that you're going to be there on time. You're going to be professional. You're going to have the best artistic values and integrity. And then at the end of the day, like if my client isn't happy, like I do have a hard time sleeping at night. So like I like try and focus on like the joy and like happiness that we provide. Like I feel like, you know, balloons in and of themselves are not that spectacular. They're a round latex product. It's what you do with them. And it's
Yeah.
like the magic and like, heart that you bring to everything you do, big or small, that makes it impactful. But like I was talking with somebody about this weekend, you really can light up and change an entire room, like with just balloons. You
Hmm.
can make a beach more beautiful and interesting. You can make, an alley cool with like some balloons and a cool photo shoot. You can make the fanciest house look even more alive and exciting with balloons. It's really cool.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said. I just wrapped my biggest job ever last week. Like it was Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And a couple things you said just now were completely true. Like first of all, everything I delivered was like fine. Like it was arches, it was centerpieces, it was garland. Like it wasn't stuff that I don't do every single weekend. Just because it was this huge event didn't mean it was like crazy stuff, but I would say the way I earned my paycheck was communication and logistics and like being able to be ready if things changed, which they almost all did. Like 3 of their 4 events were rained out. They just got the worst weather and they were supposed to have these outdoor events. And I think I could have been a jerk and just been like, sorry, like you ordered garland that was going to go on this outdoor fireplace and now here it is. I'm just going to leave it on the floor. But instead, we were able to turn it into these like 10-foot columns last minute. And like, did they pay for that? I don't know. Was I going to like let their party look like garbage? Also, no, like you go out of your way and it worked out and they were really happy with it. But it wasn't like they were paying for the balloons, if you know what I mean. They were paying for me being there on time and not dropping the ball and the confidence that I was able to give them that I was going to be able to pull it off. So yeah, I mean, I totally agree with everything you just said.
Yeah, I think that's so true. Like, I mean, I feel like a big part of what we do is like reassure our clients that everything's going to be okay
Mhm.
because like everybody, comes to a balloon decorator for a lot of times like a really important event, like a first birthday or a baby shower or, a wedding, like something important. And, half the time they're stressed about it. They don't really know what they want. Like it's a lot of like guiding them and then like reassuring them that like you're in good hands. Like we got this. Like we're going to take
Right.
great care of you. Like.
Or like
So
even assuring them that their ideas are good. Like, "Oh, that'll look amazing." Like they just want someone to tell them like, "You picked great colors. This is going to look great." Like they just agree with them and they feel I think a bit more confident. And sometimes I think if you disagree too like, "Ooh, great idea." But that's not going to last long, so let's do something else. Like I think that can give them confidence.
yeah.
We've talked about this. You're in LA, you have some high-end clients, you have some probably crazier jobs. Do any stand out, either good or bad, things you're really proud of or things that you're like, that could have gone better?
So an interesting job that I had recently that didn't go exactly as planned was we did a job for Porsche and they sent us this really cool design that they came up with. And it was like the car, and then it was supposed to look like it was like speeding in really quickly. And there was like exhaust coming out, and then it like evaporated like 3/4 of the way through the arch. So I was going to weight it only on one side and
Would it be
use
helium? So it kind of floated?
well, I built a frame. So I
Okay.
built a frame with conduit and like a really heavy air pull base plate. And I had the conduit go up and then we bent it. And then I used aluminum rod and like had that extend down. And then I used wire. So it like kind of trickled down literally like the design. And then my plan was to use water weights and float balloons up and then drop them down with fish line. So it would have been perfect. It was if it was inside. As the client, I said, does it get a lot of wind there? Blah, blah, blah. And they were like, no, not at all. It was like a tornado. It was insane.
Oh,
We got there.
no.
I built it like we had it in a whole prep day. We got there at like 5 a.m. and we had until like 6 p.m. So we had so much time. And I built it 3 times we made frames. We used the frame we had. I balloon bonded, I duct taped, I got so creative with the design and nothing was working.
Yeah.
Their entire like they had all this tenting set up. It all like fell over,
Gosh.
like forklifts come out and like move it all. And like, I mean, it was just crazy.
What did you
So
end up doing? Did you figure it out or you just were like, this isn't possible?
so their design didn't end up being possible. And I felt really bad, but it didn't end up being possible to do the exact design they wanted.
Yeah.
So what we ended up doing was like slightly moving the location to like there was a big gate that was like super sturdy. It was not never going to fall over. So we ended up doing like a huge, just massive arch on it. and then we like linked it to the car.
Okay.
We literally stuffed balloons inside the exhaust pipe and then like fish lined it around everything.
Yeah.
And so it gave a similar effect. It wasn't as cool as what we wanted to do, but it was huge. It was beautiful. And we ended up using helium for part of it.
Yeah.
It all worked out. The client was super happy. And I will say, like, again, like, I feel like we talked a lot about customer service in this, today, but like, they were super, they said, like, oh my gosh, well, we just can't appreciate like how hard you tried and like how
Yeah.
effort that you put in and like how many times you built it. And so much so that they like called us to recreate it in Atlanta, which didn't end up doing, but it was really nice, and
Yeah.
it was a great client, like, but yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, if their tents are blowing away, that's what sometimes wind or like outdoor balloons. I'm like, people have to understand that they're balloons. Like they have to know like these are going to blow or like all the linens are blowing away and like you said the tents are toppling over. I'm like no one's caring about the balloons at that point because like their whole party is destroyed. Like it's just, we get wind here. So it's just wind and sun are just my nightmare. Outdoor in general. Do you do a lot of outdoor stuff then because the weather's always nice?
We do. We do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely always prefer it inside too, but I mean, it's just so pretty here. And then most of the parties are outside,
Yeah.
homes or um, whatnot. So
Yeah. So what have you done? Are there any where you're just like, everything did go well and you're like, this is the coolest job ever? Like we got to do this huge install or something you're super proud of that's on your short list of installs.
So my favorite thing that I've ever done would be at um, this like private club called Soho House here. And this was at the one in West Hollywood. And they had they have this, it's in a penthouse of a skyscraper. Like, I mean, it's really cool. There's only like one elevator that goes up. It's kind of hard to get stuff in and out, but we did it was for Halloween and their theme was Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And they wanted to recreate the scene where like the Charlie and his grandfather, I think,
Yeah.
like float, And so we did like bubbles. We did all these clear bubbles. We were there for like a week.
Oh my gosh.
I had like 25 people working. We were like high floating everything. It was like, I don't even think like the pictures on our Instagram like do it justice.
Sure.
It was massive and like it was so cool. It was my favorite thing I've ever done. It was really tough because they said you can't put anything on the floor, nothing on the walls, nothing on the ceiling. So we were like, how do we do this?
Yeah.
So we ended up building like this like grid like out of fish line and we like floated balloons up and we dropped balloons down and then there was a staircase in the middle and so I left the staircase completely empty so people could get up and down. It was really cool. It was just like bubbles everywhere as soon as you got off the elevator and like stepped in. I mean, like everything went great. Like it was so cool. The yeah.
So how do you hire 25 people for these huge events? Like how many employees do you have and where are you getting additional help when you need it?
So this was actually, we were working with a production company. And so they ended up providing a lot of the staff
Okay.
for it. And I had like my people too. I had like 5 people that worked for me and like knew what to do. But I mean, it wasn't that hard because they were just inflating balloons and
It
like,
was
so I,
labor. Yeah.
yeah. So for that job, it was okay. It wasn't like I was sending people out to go build garlands and backdrops and stuff like that on their own. Everybody was in the same room and working together. So it wasn't that bad. But we got lucky because the production company paid for like all of that labor. Uh,
Yeah.
they didn't want to pay like what I quoted them for the bubble installation. So I was like, well, if you pay for the labor, like we can get this down a little bit.
Sure.
And yeah, so that's what happened. And
That's interesting.
yeah.
So on any given day, what is your typical staffing looking like? How many people work for you?
Well, this year we've gotten a little bit larger because I'm really trying to grow the company like within LA and like maybe outside. I'm not sure. But so today, for instance, we have one person answering the phone from 9 to 5 or nine to
And is
six.
is that in like a physical location or are they remote and they have like a Google phone to their cell phone? How does that work?
Yeah, so I I like to I give everybody an iPhone just so that I can like hold on to the information and
Oh,
like
interesting. Okay.
so we use a CRM which is Go High Level, and I will say it's kind of glitchy. I wish I could afford something fancier, but the other ones are like $800 or but it's cool because it has like an app and then everybody can access the app and
Okay.
it's my dog Chance. He appears in every podcast I've ever done. But it's great because like you can have like unlimited users for like $100 a month and you can do so much. We don't even use all the capabilities of it. But I have like Lee who does like operations and like is like helping me as like kind of like a business manager. And he just started like in January.
Okay.
I'm looking to him to like help organize and stuff like that, the business, so that we can grow. I think it's tough, like as like a solopreneur, where like I mean, I always get in the weeds, like because like I used to run this business just myself, so I like am a little micromanagey and like a bit of a perfectionist. So I like want everything to be really great, but like you also like have to let some things go, and just like let people make mistakes. I feel like
Yeah.
which stinks because I don't love it, but that's where I'm at right now. And then I have Kelsey, who's amazing, and they answer the phones Monday through Wednesday. And then I have a new person that just started that is going to do all outbound stuff. Like
Okay.
we're going to do like, I'm going to have them really target like corporate. So we're like really working hard on Instagram, or I'm sorry, LinkedIn and Instagram, our social media presence. So yeah, so when I started, like I was like, well, Instagram, that's like a passing fad or whatever. And like I'm so not like I'm not really like I mean, I hope this seems true, but I'm not really like that showy or like, I don't like to I'm not a big bragger or I don't know, is that a word, bragger? But anyway, I'm not like I never like what I'm trying to say is like I never focused like that hard on the social media in the beginning. And I
Sure.
feel like it's so important. But now we're having to like backtrack and like because I feel like I just got like over 2,000 followers on social media. And because it wasn't something that I put any effort into.
Right. Right.
You and I talked like before the podcast recording started, and you were like, I never heard about you. And like now you're everywhere and whatever. And like, I feel like that's like something like I've tried to work on is like trying to be more visible and, you know,
Well, and it's hard because I feel like everyone I meet is in person at a convention. But like we also said before we started recording, like I think a lot of the biggest businesses in the country, like no one knows about. They're grinding, right? They have these well-oiled operations. They've been around for 25 years. They're not really on social media. So I mean, everything online I think is a little bit fake. So I think you don't know what's happening in people's businesses, but yeah, I mean, I only know who I can find or who I meet in real life, but yeah, I have noticed a big uptick in your social media presence and of course I met you at Summit, so that was how we first met.
yeah, I feel like always like face to face is like super valuable, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I put a face with a name and like blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I mean, I feel like social media is really cool. It's like I don't know. I feel like I don't know anything about it, but I've tried to like invest a little bit more because like I feel like it's changing how people find balloon artists and find decorators and everything. I feel like you have to do so much to be visible, including like show up in person and like knock
Yeah.
doors and call around like locally. It's running a business is no joke. It's not for
Yeah.
you know.
So as you're kind of growing and evolving, where is your goal to like be in your business? Do you want to never touch a balloon? Do you want to be the face of your company? Do you like love doing the installs or like where are you kind of trying to go as like the owner? Because I know people have different answers for this, but I'm just curious personally where you'd like to see things go.
Yeah. A bit of a hybrid actually. Like I feel like I love like you do, like running the business and like focusing on business and uh you know, customer service and helping like learn how to run a company and like I didn't go to business school. I went to art school.
Yeah,
So I really
same.
don't have any experience in running a business except for like what I've learned by doing, but I really enjoy it. It's something like fun and like unique and it's like always every day is different. I feel like as a business owner, like you're always and as a decorator, you're always trying to like put out fires and like, I focus on social media and then I'm like, oh gosh, I got to reinvest in like the artwork and like, okay, I'm like invested in like the artwork and like making sure our designs are really cool. But okay, now I gotta go solve our phone problem because like our phone problem's down. Okay, now the website needs attention and like I feel like it's easy to get really run around. But
Yeah.
I guess my like goal is I would like as I'm getting older, to me, like what's more important is like family and like having fun and like living a great life, uh getting to go on vacation. Like, you know, I've always been like really grinding in my business and just trying to get by. And like
Hmm.
now we're like at a sort of comfortable level. I feel like that's great, but like now I need to like have a little bit more work-life balance and
Yeah.
enjoy things a little bit more. So like I would love to, not that I don't want to ever touch a balloon again, but like I feel like I would love to let the business run itself a little bit more and just like oversee things. And
And maybe insert yourself on those really fun projects.
yeah, I see I still love to go do like the big projects for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Sean, it was so nice talking to you. I hope I get to see you in real life again sometime soon, but I will be following along online. Where can people follow you if they want to check out your work?
Yeah, sure. So Balloon Guy LA is our social media, is our Instagram, and it's pretty much everything else. Balloon Guy LA. And then our website is theballoonguyla.com.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. And it was so nice chatting.
Thanks, Sarah. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.